hand this back over. Oh, and there we go. All right. Good.
Okay, perfect here. Okay, Teresa, are you able to see my screen here?
Yeah, I see. Says an all-in-one communication system for school.
That's right.
That one?
Perfect. Yep, perfect. So, and
Okay.
Sean, I might ask you to mute your line. It's just picking up a lot of background.
Okay, I'll do that then. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Thank you. Of course, interject when you need.
Of course, exactly. Yeah.
So, Teresa, Sean told me a little bit about your situation, and I understand that you're doing a lot of your communications by email. Is that correct?
That's right. Pretty much all of it.
All of it. Okay. Okay. Well, to give
we
you
have a website as well, but we don't put a lot on the website. So yeah, most of it's email.
Okay. And what about
That
calendars? I can imagine.
The calendar, our calendar is just one calendar for the year, so that's up on the website.
Okay.
And we don't have a lot of other events during the year.
Okay. Well, that probably helps you a little bit easier because I understand you're a teacher and you're running the office as well.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've kind of been in your shoes. I'm a mom, and I actually worked at a school for my daughter for a long time and volunteered too. So I know how it is to wear many hats, and I couldn't imagine being a teacher as well. So I give you thumbs up for taking that on. So, and the whole concept behind
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I just feel like I have so many jobs that it's it's hard to focus on what I need to do with the kids in the classroom because there's so much other stuff that has to happen all the time that's timely, and the last thing I ever get to is my lessons. And I'm kind of drowning in this right now.
Gotcha. And that's what I wanted to mention is the whole concept behind Hubbli is to help people like you because you do want to focus on educating the children. I mean, that's the priority. It's not to manage papers, right?
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully, going through this presentation, you'll see some ideas here that will help you kind of get out from under that stack of papers and emails and get you into the classroom with the kids more because that's very important. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So let me kind of go through here. So Hubbli came about, our founder of our company had talked to many schools for over 7 years and found out that schools were using a lot of different tools like you are, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. So Hubbli came about to really help reduce these tools and to consolidate them into one platform, which will help reduce workloads by 80%. If that would help you, if that falls into your, based on 100 kids, which I think you have 100 kids, that would probably make your life a lot easier right there if it reduced your workload by 80%. That'd be safe?
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay, good. Okay, so we can definitely do that and reduce paper and expenses and all the things that go along with it as well. So some of the main features of Hubbli, and I'll go into each of these a little bit more as well, but we have social groups, paperless administration, which create digital files and records, guaranteed messaging, and these things help with parent engagement to, keep the parents involved in the education of their children, as well as scheduling and online payments, and of course we have full support with all of these items. So the primary way Hubbli communicates is through groups. So it's similar to Facebook groups if you're familiar with those, but without all the weekly changes and all the privacy issues. It's secure and safe for the school and for the children. And you can have a group for anything. It can be per classroom or age group or PTO committee or staff group even. And what groups accomplish is they send bite-sized pieces of information to the parents. So here's an example of a group here. It's Classroom 104, and this can be for anything. And the teacher's going to put in a message here to send out as a reminder or notifying the parents of a field trip or some activity such as lice in the classroom. And she can post it right there, send it out with a photo or a document or any sort of link, and actually send this out as a text message or an SMS message as well. And the really great thing about this is you can actually see who opened up your messages and who clicked on them and who replied. So that's going to really eliminate some ways of you're doing things now. I understand. Are you using Gmail for all your communications?
Yeah, we are pretty much.
Okay. So you have no way of knowing if the actual email got to the right parent.
Yes, and that's a huge problem for me because I understand that people aren't always going to respond, but I need to know that they got the message.
Exactly, and it's important because
that's like my biggest time taker right now is sending out an email to everyone needing a response and then getting half back and then figuring out who didn't respond and then emailing again, and you know how that goes.
Exactly.
Like, oh, come on, you guys, just answer the emails.
It's a quick question.
So
Come
now
on.
I'm at a point where in capital letters, in all caps, I write, please respond with 5 exclamation points on the ones that I need people to respond to. So now I'm up to like a 60% response rate.
Wow. Oh, goodness. You know, it's sad, and we've actually trained the parents. We have schools have trained the parents to kind of ignore our communications by either oversending information that isn't pertinent to their needs. It's not about their child, so they don't care. So they end up tuning it out. So it takes you, a couple messages with those exclamation points to really say, hey, I'm right here. I need you to respond to this one. And then maybe parents will get it. But like you just said, it takes, almost hitting them with a shovel in the head to get them to respond, right? So if we had a system that you could click right here, send out that message, and then see that it was actually delivered to those people in that classroom and it was opened, and they could even ask a question back to you. They don't have to even log into a place to do it. This will all come across on their email and as a text message as well. So anything that's sent from, let me back up a page here from this group page, so whether it's a photo or a document or a link, and it's sent over, will actually come over to the parent's email. The parent, if they have a question, they can hit reply, and it goes back to you, and you can answer that question. Or it'll come over right on their smartphone, so they're not going to miss a communication. It's going to be streamlined to what they want to hear. Would that make your life a little bit easier?
Okay, so my question is, if I post something there, then it goes to their email, then it comes back. Am I looking at a website, or what am I looking at?
It's all through email, actually. So you can even see this on your phone.
I think we use the website initially to set up the group. I think, is that what you were asking there, Teresa?
Yeah, like where am I going to see all these groups and all these things that are going on?
Okay.
Am I going to a website?
Yes, so this group here, so all your groups are going to be on your Hubbli site where you are an administrator, and all your classrooms can have different administrators or you who can post those messages here on this one site. So everybody's going to get their own unique login. And they can go to the site because you see here there's documents and members and media, which is photos and forums and all these nice little things in the group. So they can go there and read the communication and read the historical, messages below. But they don't have to. They're actually, the information is going to be pushed to them on how they want to read it, which is going to be on their smartphone. So they can get it on their smartphone. They can go here. It's both ways essentially. And kind of how that.
They don't have to specifically choose to go to the Hubbli site to find out something. It will go directly to their emails.
Right. Correct? And this diagram here kind of gives you an idea of that, where folks on, you're using Gmail and somebody else can be using Yahoo Mail. And you're going to be, you posted a message in a group, and then I'm a parent. I replied back to you through my phone, through my Yahoo Mail. And Hubbli, meanwhile, is archiving all this. So on the bottom left of my screen here, you can see all the messages that were sent. And if you need to open one up to see, what was said to refresh your memory, or in a bad situation, if something was misunderstood by a parent, you actually can go into the details of those messages because Hubli's archiving it all.
Okay.
That includes replying to text messages. Am I correct, that Pat? So even if I just happen to reply to this notification of a message, if I replied back to that there, it would be posted to the group as well?
It goes back to the person who sent the message.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So would it be beneficial for you, Teresa, at your school to have communications this way instead of going emails into a black hole?
Oh, absolutely. That's how it feels. I send messages to a black hole, and then maybe something might come back. Oh my gosh. I would love this. I hope we can figure out how to pay for it, because I think I would really love this.
I think you would too.
Okay, keep going.
And I would promise you it would save you a lot of time. So how are you doing your scheduling right now? So if you did have to, I know you mentioned you have a calendar that goes up once a year. If you added things to that calendar, how would you communicate that to your school?
It would just be an email message going out.
Okay. So what we have here is within the groups, you have a group event. So this is like the group calendar. So it's, my child Megan's class here. This is her classroom, and these are pizza lunch only for her classroom. And the parent can actually subscribe on their phone to this calendar right here. So I'm going to get all those things that's going on in my daughter's.
So if they do that, then whatever I put on the calendar shows up on their phone calendar?
You got it.
Is that what that means? Okay.
Yep. And on top of that, what it'll do is it'll actually filter. So on the right-hand side here is the school calendar for the school-wide events. So say like, picture day at the school, or, any type of school-wide event going on. So what it'll do is it'll filter by that classroom. So the parent will then see all the school activities and only the activities that their child, that they're a member of, and that their child's classroom essentially. So that's the only things they see is their child's classroom and the school-wide. So it's really hard to miss something. And of course, you subscribe to this and it's going to show up on their calendar. It'll take it to the next level for you.
Okay, so if I change something on the calendar, does it automatically change on theirs?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
On their phone?
Yep. Okay. So like if you update it or change a date, yep, and they're subscribed to it, it'll change. Yeah. Okay. Do you ever do anything like newsletters, or like once a month or anything?
Well, that's something that we keep talking about we need to do, and we just never get around to it.
Okay. Well, within
but yes, we would like to be doing that.
Okay. Well, I can give you that too. Within our groups, we have newsletters, and it's really easy to use. You actually have templates that you can customize. You can change the background color, you can add photos, you can make it specific to the parent's name, and then again, you'll know who that went out to, who actually got on it, who actually opened it, read it, if they forwarded it, all those types of things. You have all those statistics. And it's really easy to use. And one of the things that I personally love is after you kind of go through it, if you put your school logo on it and you have your school colors, you can clone that same newsletter. So you can reuse it, just update the information. So it makes sending that newsletter, especially if it's a once a month newsletter or even a once a week newsletter, it makes it a snap to send out. You can do it instead of, on average, it takes a couple hours to do it. This will be done in a matter of, a few short minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing we have is forms. About just a ballpark of how many forms would you say you have at your school, from enrollment packets to, attendance or grades, field trips, anything like that? How many forms do you say you have?
We probably have about 5 or 6 per kid.
Okay. Okay. So that's a good amount of forms. That's a lot of paperwork, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid to ask you this, but are you managing all that as well too?
I am. I mean, it's all been done on paper up until this year. We put registration on a Google Doc. so that
Okay.
at least they could register online. But then we still had things they had to have an ink signature for, so they had to print those out, sign them, and mail them to me. But the problem was, I just felt like we were cutting and pasting, trying to take information off that main document and make, you know, a phone number list or make a class list or make, you know what I mean? Maybe I just don't know how to use it well enough.
No, you're right.
It's just been really.
No, you're absolutely you're right, because the thing is, a lot of schools will do that, or even like jot forms. And the problem with this, exactly what you said, is that's all you can use it for. So you either print it out, which kind of beats the whole purpose of it. You can't really go in and query the information or anything like that. With Hubbli forms, you can do just that. You can actually have your enrollment form be online. The parents can open it up. They can do a signature, which, they can do it on their smartphone, a tablet, on their computer with their mouse. And it actually date and time stamps the signature. So it's a legal, it's a legal item there. You can even take a payment. So if you were paying for tuition or for, say, a yearbook or something like that, you can have a form for a yearbook and take the payment right there online. Then once this is done, and you can see on the bottom left, all this information is in the system that you can then sort it. You can sort it by phone number. You can sort it by the children who don't want to have their photographs taken. You can export it to Excel if you wanted to, because the information is actually in there. It becomes a workable database for you.
Okay.
Is that something that
I would love that.
You're looking for? Okay, good. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're checking off the boxes. This is good. We're moving forward. Another area we have is student documentation automation. And so anytime there's a form filled out about a child, it takes you, a couple hours to, reproduce that information, sort it, staple it, put it in their folder, cross your fingers that it actually gets home to them, and all those types of things. I mean, that's taking at least a couple hours per child, right? So if you had a way to put it into the system, so a teacher filled out a report, say a scope and sequencing report on the child, and then the teacher can sign it, complete it, and then it automatically gets emailed to the parent.
Okay.
Then the parent has that information right there. You don't have to reprint any information or any of that type of thing. And then there's also this place here where it's a private page just for the parents and the teachers of that child, where all this information is housed. So this comes in really handy, like if you have parents in a separate household. So you don't have to reduplicate all those efforts and then make sure that you're communicating the same information to the same way to each parent. I know that personally takes a lot of time and can be a real headache at school. So this is a way to resolve that and have it all organized by the student.
Okay. All right.
Now, how are you booking your, say, parent-teacher conferences?
Oh, that's really delightful. Delightful process.
I'm muted here, but I'm laughing. Yes, that's right.
Well, we don't really do conferences, but we do parent nights and we do orientations. We do a number of things throughout the year that require people to sign up for a time. And, I'm not even going to go into how that disaster happens, but I would like an easier way to do this, definitely.
Okay. Well, let me tell you how we do it, and you tell me if this is easier, okay? The parents can go to a calendar online within the group or on your website if it's for, say, oh my gosh, I can't say it. Parents who are looking at your school, I'll say it that way. And what will show up to them is only the times that are available. So in green here on my screen are the times that are open for a parent-teacher conference. So they can click on it, fill out the information, and then Hubbli sends the confirmation and reminders to the parent and to the teacher. Is that a little easier than what you're doing now?
Oh, slightly, yes.
Okay.
I kind of work in the dark ages here.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to bring you to the daylight. We'll come out here to the sunshine.
Okay.
So, the nice thing too, this can be done for, like a prospective tour, and kind of how A tour, you could have a link on your website where they can pick a time. If you only did tours on, say, Tuesdays and Thursdays, it would work the same way. And you can actually automate your whole onboarding process. So when, how many steps would you say are involved from when a parent, first visits or contacts you till when they enroll? Is there like 2 or 3 steps that happen in there, or a little bit more?
Or more, yes.
Or more? Okay.
Okay, I'm looking at all of this. Yeah, that's like exact. Okay, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps you have there.
Yep.
That's exactly what we do. With
Okay,
maybe
and then
a few more phone calls or emails in there.
Okay, and is anybody reminding you to make those phone calls, or do you get accept a tour that automatically goes on your calendar for you? Does it work that way for you? I'm guessing no.
No, I just email and call people repeatedly.
Okay, so I'm just tallying up. I hope Sean's keeping track of how many hours we're saving you here. Okay.
I don't even know how she was able to schedule this call, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I know you're a busy woman. So we can actually automate that whole process. So it's taken over by the system, where the system they can schedule a task. You can have a nice form pop up that says, thank you for your inquiry at our school, and it's customized to you, to your school. Please fill out the information about when you would like to, schedule a tour or us to contact you. And then you're notified that that parent has filled that out. It's all done electronically. And then you can actually have it go all through these steps. You have the information in there, and the end step could be, welcome to our school. Here's a nice personalized welcome letter, and here's a link to all of our enrollment forms. They can sit in front of the TV at 11 o'clock at nighttime on their tablet, fill out all the paperwork for you, send it off, and then boom, you get notified that the Smith family has completed their paperwork and made that payment, for tuition, all online, and it's fully automated. I can guarantee you that's going to tally up in that 80% of workload reduction for you right there.
This is lovely. Okay, don't make that page go away yet. I'm taking notes there.
Okay. Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
We're recording this, so we could actually send you a video of this afterwards, and then I could actually send you an information package also that might make your life a little bit easier.
Sure. Okay. Okay, I got my notes now. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. I'm afraid to ask, but how are you doing invoice managing right now?
Oh, that's great. You're going to love my system. So here's what we do. I don't like asking people for money. So they are notified on our website how much they need to pay per child, and then they don't pay. So then I send an email saying, okay, everybody, it's time for payments. And then 4 people send a check. And then a little while later, I send another email saying, okay, let's pay up. And then about 5 people write back, how much do I owe? So then I look up my books and I email them how much they owe. And then they write back saying, okay, can I pay this per month? And I go, sure, do whatever you need to do. Because I am not going to force people to pay their money, because I just feel like that is their job to do, and I do not want to get on the wrong side of people because I'm being a brat about pay up. So as long as we have enough money to pay our bills each month, the money strings in, and by the end of the year, everybody has paid up. But let me tell you, I'm telling you, this is the dark ages over here. Because I just can't get, even, I don't know. I mean, I could tell you story after story, but I just fly by the seat of my pants with this school, and I'm homeschooling my kids at the same time. And so between that and all my other children doing whatever they're doing and my husband traveling, I just have not figured out how to make this work better. So we just kind of let it happen, and that's what we do.
Well, of course. I mean, you're
And
trying to.
I'm sure you have a wonderful way to make them pay, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. No, no. Well, I just want to say, I mean, a lot of schools are in your scenario, so you're not alone. Let me tell you, and especially asking for money. That's a hard thing to do. And I'm sorry, when you start a school, nobody trains you on how to ask for money. There isn't a class for that. Unless you go to business school and learn that, take negotiations, then it's not a common thing. So what Hubbli does to kind of help you so that it's not, you essentially asking, it's the system. So each family is actually going to get their own account page. So they see how much they owe. No more questions about, how much do I owe? They can see it right there. They can see what they paid. They can actually go on an invoice right here that's sent to them and click on that red button up on the top, pay by check, pay by credit card. We actually have transaction fees that are lower than anybody else out there. We have 2.5 for credit card transactions and 1% on e-checks, which is like half of what everybody else charges. So they can click right there, make their payment. Then you as a school right here in the middle, you have a high level dashboard of what's coming in, what's outstanding, all those things. And then the even cooler part is you can drill into the system and see and go into a specific family and see, okay, how many outstanding invoices do they have? What did they pay? Did they pay for that yearbook? Or did they pay for, after school daycare? You can see all that information within the system. Probably.
Okay, and do they get emailed their statement every month until they're done paying? Or how
Yes.
does that work?
You can have it set up so it's recurring. So you don't even have to push a button. The system on the 15th of every month will send it out to them and they can pay for it. If you have like a one-off for, that a t-shirt or a field trip or something like that, you go into the system, create the invoice, boom, send it off, they pay for it. And then if they forget it, and they do come back to you and say, Teresa, what happened? I don't know where it is. You don't even have to talk to them. You can push a button and resend the invoice to them again, so they have it to pay. So it can be that easy for you.
Okay. Okay, I like that.
Okay, good. And lastly, we can be your complete website hosting solution. So how do you assure that your school is basically ranked in the top of like a Google search, for example?
Well, I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is we keep getting more children. We're not a full school. We just do religious formation classes. So the kids come once a week. So we have 10 different classes that go on. And every year, for whatever reason, we end up with another 15 or 20 students. And I'm kind of, this is a little bit freaking me out here because it's getting much bigger than I ever anticipated what we were even doing. And so we don't really advertise. So we have our website up there for so if we do put something in the church bulletin or something, they can go to the website and look at what we do. But we don't really advertise. It's all word of mouth. And I don't want to advertise because I can't take any more children right now.
That's it. I'm done. I'm out.
I'm almost ready to send an email to our parents saying, "Don't tell anyone else about us right now, please." Stop that.
Not until
but if you had more time
one.
to focus on teaching the students, then you'd probably be okay with that. You don't want to deal with the administrative part of taking on new kids.
Yes, that's what I need. I need to get into my lessons.
Right, and we'll help you do that. I mean, Hubbli could also be your website as well too if you wanted to. I know it's you have some budget constraints, so it's just an option out there. I'll put it out there. And I'll go through all the pricing packages. I know that you talked about a little bit yesterday. But of course, we have a full support desk with this. We'll train you, add your parents for you. We take all of your forms, every single one of them. You send them to us. We put them into the Hubbli system for you. That's all part of your setup process where you focus on getting trained. At any time, you can go to the website, book a training appointment or ask a question. We're available. We have a nice knowledge base. If you forget how to do something, you can search on how to do something and it'll pull up this nice little 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to make it nice and easy for you. And then we have the different prices, the pricing options for you. And from what you're saying, I feel you probably fall into like the essentials or the student information package, but then, the complete package with the invoicing would really be your perfect scenario. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I would like to pick the 249 one, the complete one. I don't know. We have to look and see what we can afford at this point, but that would suit all of our needs, I think.
Okay. Well,
Absolutely.
so with these three packages, there is a setup fee. And the setup fee is $2,499. And right now we do have some specials on that pricing, where, if you were to sign up this week, we could take an additional 20% off of that pricing for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you, just on a scale of a 1 to 10, I mean, how would you rate Hubbli?
Oh, well, from what I've seen, I mean, I haven't used it. From what I've seen, I would say a 10.
Okay, great. Okay. Is there any reason why you wouldn't give it like a 11 or anything that's holding you back from saying that?
Well, I guess, didn't you say 1 to 10?
Yeah, I did.
She got you there.
The only reason I wouldn't give it an 11 is because I would love to be able to pay this much money, but I don't know if we can. So that would be the only thing.
Okay, so it's money. Well, that's helpful. I mean, that's what, we want to work with you. Our goal is to make your time freed up so that you've clearly said you want to spend more time with the kids and educating the kids. And the whole goal behind Hubbli is to do that for you. And you clearly get that. So what's your decision-making process?
We have a board.
Okay.
So I would bring this to the board. So the setup fee of $24.99, that's a one-time thing?
That's a one-time. And that includes all your training to get up and running, and that also is a done-for-you site, so that we do all the uploading of all the forms, all your users, all those types of things, so that
we would set up all the families that
running.
Am I correct? We'd set up all the families and all the students, so all the parents would have a log on to get onto the website as well?
Yep, that's why we do it all for you. So you send us the parent information, we put it in the system for you. That way you're going through the training and you can focus on just learning the system. That's all part of the setup fee in there.
Okay.
So, okay. Do you have a time frame of when you'd like to get something implemented?
I don't know. This just kind of came up this week, so I would say in the next couple of months at least. My other question is, so then is there a certain time period that we commit to, or is it just month to month?
Right. Actually, you have a couple different options. You have an option right now where you can go month to month, and that's unlimited, your commitment to that. That does have the, what's the word I'm looking for? If the pricing does change, then your pricing does change. You could go with an option of a 1-year or a 3-year agreement, and with that, your pricing is then locked in. So for that period of time, it's locked into that. So quite frankly, I've been with Hubbli for a year now, and they have upped their pricing to the going marketing rate, but I would highly recommend going, for the year agreement to lock in the pricing, because I know we are going to roll out some new features, and that would cause the pricing to go up. So especially in your situation, I would recommend, doing like a 1-year agreement.
Okay.
Do you have a scheduled board meeting when you're going to bring this up to them? Or is that...
Our board only meets a couple times a year, but we have a lot of stuff to deal with right now, so we're going to be having some video conference call meetings that I can bring it up at that time.
Okay.
So sometime in the next couple of weeks we'll be meeting.
Okay. Okay. And I was just wondering too, I know sometimes, I don't know if your school has any, discretionary budget or something like that, because I'd really love to, get you started into Hubbli sooner than later.
I know, it would be fabulous. I will do as much as I can here to get this on my list of 1,000 things to do this week. No, I will take this seriously, and I will see what I can do with that.
Okay, well,
part of what we're trying to figure out right now is the future of what are we doing? Are we going to just keep doing what we're doing? Are we just going to grow? Are we going to move to another space? Are we going to expand into a full school? Are we going to do something? Like, there's so many questions on the wall right now that I just don't know how to do all of this. So we have a lot of conversations, and this is one piece of it.
And that's exactly. And I mean, the nice thing is too is, you know, Hubbli, it's, some people think, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming to take on a project, you know, for communications. And I know from implementing it at my former school where I used to work is it can be as difficult as you make it or not. And by that, I mean, you know, you can start putting your forms online. You send us your forms, we put them on the system, and then you just send them out to your parents that way. It can be that simple. Or you just start communicating. You know, you send us the parents. We do all the legwork for you and putting it into the system. You send us a list of all your parents' contact information, and then you start communicating to them. So it doesn't have to be a huge undertaking, and you can roll out pieces of it, you know, here by here, you know, step by step. You know, it doesn't have to be all in one type of thing. And the nice thing too is if you are making those big decisions, this will ultimately save you a chunk of time. And we all know that time is money, right? And then you have a nice way of, you know, if you're going to be expanding your space or growing or things like that, where, you know, you'll have a nice database of all of your information in there to kind of take with you and to really give that nice experience for your parents and your staff as well too, to use a really seamless communication system. You know, it gives a really nice impression. It really helps to, you know, have everything in one place for you, to know whether it was, you know, received or not, especially if you're moving and changing things. You want to make sure your parents get those communications and you're not sending out email after email with exclamation points begging for an answer. You know, we can do all those things, you know, for you. So I hopefully, you know, this has been beneficial for you, and you know, we'd love to make your life easier so you can go be with those kids and teach, because after all, that's the priority. And me as a parent, I want my teachers to be able to focus on it.
Absolutely, that is what I am supposed to be doing.
So well, we want
to
help you in any way.
Very helpful. Okay, I will be in touch with you when I figure this out. I think it's a fabulous program. I'd really like to go with it.
Okay, great.
So we'll see where this goes from here.
Okay, I know Sean will probably reach out to you as well too. He'll send this information, and then you know, if any questions pop up from you or the board or anything, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot there, Pat and Teresa. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Teresa.
Okay, have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.